And the worst thing I ever heard, and I will remember that for the rest of my life, that when they told me, I'm sorry, sir, your son just died. Sometimes, when it's 2:45, sometimes I wait for him. Sometimes I think that he's gonna come back home to us. And I realize that he's in heaven with God. Yeah. My little angel. He was a peaceful kid, you know. He always, you know, go to handball court with his brothers. Unfortunately, that day, he disobeyed Oscar Jr. because Oscar Jr. told him, wait for me, Michael, we're gonna go together.
15-year-old Michael Alguera was stabbed to death on these handball courts near Hempstead High School in January of 2008. His father believes he was killed by a gang who had robbed him for 50 cents and his cell phone.
They was wearing bandanas, blue bandanas. I believe it was MS-13.
MS-13 is a Hispanic gang, notorious enough to have drawn the attention of the FBI and the Nassau County and local Hempstead police.
Detective Richard Smith. I've been with the Hempstead Police Department for 28 years.
Detective Smith tracks street gangs in Hempstead.
No, at this time the case has not been resolved, and the homicide part of the case is handled by Nassau County Police Homicide Squad.
He says gang activity is actually down here, but the police department estimates there are still 1,000 gang members in and around the suburban village on the outskirts of New York City.
And it's probably like, you know, a very small percentage that actually are gang members, but unfortunately that very small percentage causes a major problem for other hardworking people.
Clementina Alguera, Michael's mother, was so concerned about the danger of gangs that she stopped working so she could watch over her sons.
I'd walk everywhere with my sons because there were so many gangs, so many bad kids who would look for the innocent kids to get them into bad things.
Years ago, you probably would have been able to notice it a little bit more because they wore certain colors, they wore beads, stuff like that. Probably over the last 4 or 5 years now, we're seeing most gang members don't wear their colors anymore because they don't want the law enforcement to know who they are.
While most Hispanic immigrants are aware of gang activity, the murder on the handball court that January day was a shock that still haunts the Alguera family.
And then I ran to the handball court. And then when I got in there, I saw my brother on the floor gasping for air with his eyes closed. I literally had my brother's head in my hand with one of my hands on his chest. He's gasping for it harder and harder, harder and harder. My hand just stopped moving up and down on his chest. You know, I'm over here like, what's wrong? And then I put my finger near his nose. He's not breathing. Next thing you know, I see my mom. My mom's running. The cop tells me to get up and go take care of your mom. I didn't know what to do. I'm over here like, should I let go of my brother or should I go help my mom out? It got up to a point that they had to revive my brother more than twice. You know, we should at least read some words of the Lord for my brother. They told my brother, váyase con Dios. No sigue sufriendo. Once they said that, my brother started shaking. And from there, all I hear is something going, The monitor of his heart just stops.
Since Michael's murder, the Alguera family has fallen apart. Oscar Jr. dropped out of high school, and recently Clementina and Oscar Sr. separated.
Now, no one is the same. Everywhere I walk, I always remember Michael. Always, always. Because he was a very special boy with me. He would touch me and say, Mom, you're the best mother in the world. I love you so much.
After asking the Lord and asking Mikey not to leave me and just to apparently just be gone, And the only place I get to see my brother is 8 feet deep.
I know it will never be the same without Mikey. But, I'm gonna try, with God's help, to reunite my family and try to be happy.